Hey girl, I'm gonna go out and lower my cortisol, if that's what it's called. This is all part of my deal to balance my hormones. So I'm taking long walks whenever I can. I don't want to get snake bit out here trying to lower my cortisol, if that's what it's called. But anyway, what I'm doing now is trying to walk an hour a day or at night or whenever I can. I gotta get an hour of relaxing walks. Right now I'm relaxed. See, I'm not stressed. I'm not out on the job. And I know y'all are probably more stressed than me. And you don't even have a chance to walk. You're too busy working, slaving. I'm going to leave my flashlight here because I'm hoping there won't be a snake in the driveway. I have to walk where I can. Right now, when I need something and I can reach it by walking, I walk there. I don't drive anymore. I walk to the store, and I walk to the dollar store. Oh, excuse me, I'm having gas. I know you can't see anything, but this is just part of trying to lower my cortisol. I'm sure it's good for other things too. Walking an hour up and down this hill is pretty rough. I mean, it'd be nice if I had a nice flat spot to walk, probably more relaxed. I'm going to slow down and try to relax because I think stress is most of my problem from these gigs. Either I got to get control of my hormones or retire or find something else to do because I can't retire. Wouldn't want to if I could, and I can't. So, and driving a truck ain't the answer. That's my job to fall back on. Like Bella says, the music business is like rolling a boulder uphill. And that's really what it's like. You deal with a bunch of idiots all the time, and you're only getting half enough to do it, basically. I have figured out that musicians that play in dives, basically just bars, restaurants, whatever, they're just treated like basically waitresses. They call them servers, I call them waitresses. Because I guess they expect you to make the other half of your pay in the tip bucket. And that's usually not the case. People aren't freely throwing money away these days, if they ever were. Sometimes you do good in the tip bucket. Sometimes you do fair. Sometimes you get nothing a lot of the time. It usually depends on your location of town. The nicer places in town with the so-called better people, you usually don't get anything. And the lower down the scale you get, the ladder to the hardcore dive for hardcore country people, you get more money. Used to be bikers flooded you with money. They don't do that anymore because it's not real bikers. I'm up at the top of the hill here. Maybe something to see. There's the emissions man, who's always a good guy and never, I always pass. Can't see it either, can't focus. There goes some jackass, but at least he's doing the speed limit. There's the Indian store, been here all that time. Goes through a different bunch of Indians every couple of years. There's a church back behind it. People in the woods live off of that church. They crap there and get free stuff. Now there goes an asshole. Now he's an asshole. He'll run your dog down or you down. Boy, there's a story about that store. When we first moved here, we called the guy Apu because of, we watched The Simpsons and he was just Apu. And they were kind and nice. They were Indians. They were good to us and friendly. Had no problems with them. One day, a big blue vehicle came through, one of those big SUVs, like Federal Blue, that color. And they went in there and tried to assassinate Apu. And they actually shot him. He wound up getting in the bathroom and locking the door. And they shot through the door many, many times, and they grazed all across his head, even shot him in the head, but he survived. And he was up there, a couple weeks later, selling Shine and me beer and lottery tickets with that thing wrapped around his head. It was really, and after that he got all that, that, I guess, bulletproof glass up in front and all that, and then he was gone, and the next group of Indians came through. I don't know how many there's been since then. But that was a government hit. And I had gotten money out of there before with terroristic messages written on the money and stuff, like Death to America on some $100 bills or something like that. I really had gotten some hate crap out of there. And that was before the assassination attempt, but they didn't get him there. He survived, and they didn't catch those people. They took off. I don't know if it was a government hit or what, or just some rednecks had it up with Apu. I don't know, but he survived. He had a beautiful wife. She was very kind. Anyway, that's the story of that store. Besides when Shine went up there to try to get his crazy check. He'd had enough of down here moving Mama's rocks for a nickel apiece. So one day we were sitting in the shack and he said, I'm going to go smoke a cigarette. And I didn't see him for about 9 months. He went up to the top of the hill and stuck that gas nozzle in his mouth. And Apu come running out and said, no, no, no. You kill yourself across the street. You kill yourself across the street. Over here. He's supposed to come over here and kill himself. And apparently they called the guys in the white coats and they took him somewhere to where he would stay in there to try to convince them he was crazy because he needs that free check. And he went through all that, but he couldn't stay because he needed beer. They got him in there and he signed himself out like next day or whatever. So he just couldn't stick it out. And then he had to come over here and work, play the bass, and tote rocks for a nickel piece. For a nice lady who cooked for him and kept his clothes clean and gave him a free place to live, and electricity and water. Well, he didn't get water. He got that off the roof. He did have water. We gave him water. He let it freeze that very night. Okay, that's just some stories. I'm relaxing out here, lowering my cortisol, if that's what it's called. Walking up and down this hill. May not be doing me good right now because I also got a toothache and an infection, so I think I better call it. I forgot about that. I'm on antibiotics. And right now I can feel the pressure squeezing up there. So damn if it ain't one thing, it's another, ain't it? You try to fix one thing, but there's something else wrong, and you can't work on that till that gets fixed. And if we'd have known, we'd have took better care of ourselves to start with. Nobody knew. We was just playing guitars and having a good time. And we're still playing guitars and just ain't having so much damn fun because it's a lot harder. But it's still fun and stressful. It's more fun when you're younger though, and you're in a band of buddies. But when you get hired helpers from all over all the time, that's not really any fun. Because you have to play, no offense to the people up north, but you have to play with Yankees and shit. I ain't got nothing against Yankees, but I think Yankees belong in a Yankee band together. Southerners belong in a Southern band together. I'm sorry if I've offended anybody. I got nothing against nobody. But it's hard sometimes to have a Yankee Jew in my southern rock band. Boy, I sound like a racist, don't I? I'm not, though. It's just not a good mix. And that's all there is to it. And that guy died anyway. And we're doing a lot better. We got a good bass player right now. Pappy. Give a shout out to Pappy. Hell of a good bass player. That's who's working for us now. Big deal. That's the guy that lives up on the hill. We don't ever notice him. See, that's my uncle. He lives up there. And he owns all this property where that liquor store is. And that emissions clinic and the store. Oh, they're closing. I don't know what time to rob them. But I think they live there. I think they live in the back. I know they used to. I'm just kidding about robbing them. They're going to think I'm robbing them. Look, because they're... You know, I think that's that old girl that works there. Old skinny girl. Sometimes she's friendly, sometimes she's not. I better back down because she's probably seeing my camera. Mostly not friendly. To me, not attractive in any shape, way, or form. And once you've seen Bella, nothing else, you know, really holds up. Shouldn't have said that. Forgive me. I'm just saying you're beautiful, Bella. If you're listening, I always like to say to my people out here, thank you, lady and gentlemen, because there's one lady watching. Bastards. Yeah, she's still there. She must think I'm up to something. They were part of the problem when Shine took off. They used to let him use the phone and shit. And that's how he escaped. You know, there's a big bunch of crap to it people don't know about. He took some shit with him when he left too. But, you know, we've wrote that off, I guess. Doesn't matter. We're lowering our cortisol. If you got high cortisol, which most likely you do if you're over 40, you need to start make sure you get 15-20 minutes of sunshine a day on your skin, which most of you probably do. Take some long walks and get plenty of sleep. And not drug-induced sleep. I'm going to be going to bed at like 11:30, 12 o'clock. I usually don't hit the hay till daylight. I don't know why I'm doing this. As soon as I head back out on the road, it'll all be knocked out of whack again. I really know that's what's screwing me up, is my job, if you can call it that. That's what's doing it. I don't know how I'm going to control it when we head back out. I think we'll be in Alabama. I don't know when y'all see this video, if ever. We'll be in Alabama next weekend, Valley, Alabama. And that's an early gig. So, but it still takes hours to get home and everything, so I guess you can see me here, but it takes hours to get home, so it doesn't matter. Anytime you go out traveling, it screws you up. It does me, because you eat the crap food. You don't get the rest, you get the stress. All of that. Hear that dog howling? Sounds like it's over there with the people in the woods. I'm amazed that the people in the woods, here, I'm amazed that they get away with that. They have no place for their sewage or anything. Any other county, you couldn't just live in the bushes. They probably got a dog hemmed up over there. But down here, for some reason, it's always my luck. Like before, there was a meth house right down the street. Right there where them people are in the woods, as a matter of fact. Finally, we got the meth house. Well, we didn't get it tore down. It got tore down. I was glad to be rid of it, because all them people were coming through the woods around back of our house. Roaming around in the backyard back there, because they had a way to get back there. And now, we still got people living in the woods over there. You never know what's going to happen. And they're on drugs. They're on meth or something, so you can't figure no logic. There's no telling what they're going to do. You can't do a damn thing about it. Because supposedly his grandfather owns the property. He won't let him stay at the house, but he can stay out in the woods. He's over there with some girl, looks like she's about 15. I guess she must be 17 or 18. No, or it seemed like they would have hauled him away. And he's got to be in his 40s. You see him all the time walking up and down the road. Headed to the liquor store. I can't see my watch out here, so I don't know how long I've been walking. I was going to walk for an hour, but now I've remembered that I'm on antibiotics from a bad tooth I'm having. So I don't think it's a good idea to do all this walking, do you? Till I get the infection down. Because I got an infection in my damn gum. And I think I got that from a bar. Playing in one of the smokiest damn bars I've ever been in my life. And I've been in some smoke ones, but this one was the worst one I ever been in. Made everybody sick. Usually takes a couple of days to get over them things. This one was really the worst. I'm not going to say the name of it right now, but it was really the smokiest, nastiest place I've ever been. It paid well, and I guess that's why. Anyway, after that, the next day I was messed up. And when you're singing, do know you're breathing harder than people just sitting around. You're up there singing, you're blowing and, you know, breathing in and out way harder than everybody else, so you're just sucking it in. It just ain't worth it. I wish I could see my watch, but I can't. I guess I'll go on in, and after I get off these antibiotics, I'll take longer walks. I already walked today for an hour already today in the sun. I don't know if they're supposed to be relaxing walks. That wasn't very relaxing. The main thing to lower your cortisol is stay away from stressful people. That's the main thing. There's two kinds of people. People bring you up and people to bring you down. And somehow you got to avoid them stress-filled people. I wonder what I did with that. Oh, I left it over here in my flashlight. You got to avoid stress, and that's going to be just near impossible to do with what I do. I'm afraid I'll have to quit. Trying not to quit. Well, we got this band going. It works. It's a profitable band, not a high-paying profitable band, but you make a meager living off of it. It's hard, like she said, rolling a boulder uphill every day. But you don't want to throw it away. But then if it causes your body, if it causes you health problems, I guess you have to know when to quit. I just don't know what else I would do. I just don't know what else I would do, people. Anyway, this is Mr. Blue Rose saying keep a good thought. Don't get caught with your cortisol levels high. 10-4.